Audio Jungle.
Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving into something a little different, a bit meta, actually.
Right.
Our source material isn't about, a specific historic event. It's more a glimpse into the philosophy behind a show.
A show called History Unfiltered, The
Yeah.
Past with Personality.
Exactly. And for you, listening in, trying to get knowledge quickly, but, thoroughly, understanding how information gets presented,
Yeah.
that could be its own deep dive.
It really can. What's fascinating here, I think, isn't the history itself, but the whole approach, how they do history.
Yeah.
The source says this show digs into epic events, weird facts, and all the moments your school book skipped.
Okay.
And that phrasing alone, it really raises a question, doesn't it? What does it even mean to make history unfiltered or give it personality?
Right. That's the core of it, I think.
Mm.
We're looking at a method that seems to promise those aha moments,
Yeah.
trying to get us beyond just feeling swamped by facts,
Yeah.
making complex stuff feel, I don't know, accessible.
Accessible and engaging, exactly.
Yeah. So when they say unfiltered, what are we really talking about there? What does that imply?
Well, unfiltered, I think it suggests getting away from like overly sanitized versions of the past.
Okay. Less polished.
Yeah, less polished, showing events with all their messiness, the complexities, the raw human parts that often get smoothed over in standard textbooks.
Right. The stuff that doesn't fit the neat narratives.
Exactly. And personality. That's not just about being entertaining, I don't think.
Yeah.
It's more about showing the human quirks, right? The motivations, maybe those weird little details that actually bring a subject to life. They give it richer context.
I see. Okay. So it's not just the big picture, the broad strokes. It's the details, the nuances that make it stick.
Precisely.
So why that emphasis? Why weird facts and moments your school book skipped?
Yeah.
Why do you think that's effective if you're trying to grasp something new quickly?
Well, I think it taps into how our brains work. We like novelty, right? We like stories. Those weird facts, they often act like little hooks, memorable entry points that pull you in beyond just, memorizing dates.
Okay, hooks, I get
Yeah.
that. And the skipped moments.
That part speaks directly to this idea that there isn't just one story, there are multiple perspectives.
Right.
It challenges that single, neat narrative you often get. It prompts you, the listener, to think, what else am I not seeing? What's missing here?
So it moves you from just taking stuff in passively?
To actively discovering it.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
It turns consuming information into like an active investigation.
That's a really powerful way to put it. Active discovery. And that applies way beyond just history, right?
Right.
Any subject.
Absolutely. Any
Yeah.
complex topic.
Okay, so let's bring it back to our listener. Someone who wants to be well-informed but, doesn't want to get totally lost in the weeds. What's
Yeah.
the key takeaway from this whole unfiltered with personality approach?
The core insight, I think, is that genuine understanding, getting beyond just surface level facts, often comes from deliberately looking for those unconventional angles, seeking out the human bits, the messy parts, and really consciously asking, okay, what's not being said in the standard version?
Right. Questioning the default narrative.
Yes. It's about adopting a more critical lens, really, and that changes how you engage with pretty much any information, not just history podcasts.
Exactly. A critical lens. Okay, so for our final thought then, maybe consider this. The next time you're digging into something new,
Yeah.
could be anything, a work report, a news article, whatever. How could actively looking for those skipped details or the unfiltered human side of things, how might that lead you to insights you'd totally miss otherwise?
That's a great point. You might find the real story isn't where you expect it.
Right. It's about discovering that, well, pretty much any field is a whole lot richer, a whole lot more interesting when you embrace all of it, not just the easy summary.